Yeah, it's that time again. We get to replace another suit from the original 7, and this will be a interesting journey, to say the least. One of the original 7, which in this episode it will be the Mark II. Hello, folks. Danoby2 here. Thank you for joining me once again on another visual tour unboxing. So I've replaced the Mark VI, the Mark V. We got the Mark IV coming up, and the Mark III diecast was replaced in 2015. Now it's the Mark II, and this is gonna be challenging because the Mark II Unleashed, this suit right here, was my very first Hot Toys purchase. This is the one that started it all, and it's time to replace it. But before I replace it, I want to bring to attention the whole height issue, which seems to be a big concern for collectors. Mark II Unleashed was released in 2012. The diecast Mark III 2015. We should have received a diecast Mark II the same year or the following year. 3 years have gone by, and they've made significant improvements. The diecast Mark V is a phenomenal suit. They made it taller. I don't know why they did that. I don't have an answer. It doesn't make any sense. Plenty of time has passed. It towers over the Mark III. I don't really know how to address that other than simply either acknowledge it or ignore it, but it is what it is. And unfortunately, because the Mark II is just a clone of the Mark III, they're reusing the exact same body. And so I don't agree with it. It did not stop me from purchasing the Mark II, but I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk on that. This is the special edition that I received from Sideshow, and the special edition is simply it includes the hologram figure. So I really pondered on how to express myself, because the Mark II is a special suit. Again, this is the one that brought me into the world of Hot Toys. And viewing some of the early reviews, I didn't think it justified replacement. Other than it would be diecast. It sucks that I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I'm not going to have 6 diecast suits and only 1 plastic. It's not going to work. It's not going to work for me. All the suits are going to go diecast. The Mark VII was just recently announced. We only have the Mark I left to be announced and to go to pre-order. My money says that the Mark I will be announced and it will go into pre-order, and the original 7 will go into diecast. Now, I don't expect much improvements from this in the Unleashed other than the diecast. To be honest, I really don't. That's why my excitement levels aren't really high on this guy. It's simply swapping out a plastic figure for a diecast figure. The improvements I can tell already is the paint. They did improve the paint scheme. You get the Tony head sculpt here, and versus the Unleashed, you got the Rhodey. So this is neat. This is really neat. This is an advantage here to owning this suit, is that you do get a Tony Stark's sculpted head versus the Rhodey came with the Unleashed. So that would be one advantage there, knowing that if you did want to pose the Unleashed. And I'm looking at the paint reflective, which doesn't look that different from the Unleashed. And let's take a look at this. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison, and I want to see if you, the audience, or me personally, I can tell the difference. And yes, okay. So significant changes have occurred. And I'm going to swap it out. I'm going to randomly, and I'm going to kind of test you and the audience to see which one, if you can tell which one's the Unleashed and which one is the new version. Okay, it's pretty clear. The one on the right is the Unleashed, and the one on the left is the brand new, and I'm going to reshuffle them again. And again, to me that would be the advantage if you wanted the Tony sculpted head and let it focus. Okay, so the one Unleashed on the left and the one on the right. Whoa, what is this? What's this? Ah, damn it, Hot Toys. I swear to God. Oh, you're killing me, Hot Toys. You're killing me. I'm already emotionally disturbed that I'm replacing my very first Hot Toys, and then you pull this number. I don't know. This may have to go back. That little paint chip is going to drive me bonkers. All right. Let's continue the unboxing. All right. All right. Not happy with that paint chip. Let's look at this. Oh, the hand came off. Overall, I will give Hot Toys credit on the paint applications. It is a lot more reflective paint that they're using. I would have preferred a more of a mirrored chrome effect. To me, that would have been the advantage. To me, that would have been the icing on the cake. If they're asking fans to replace the Mark II Unleashed, and maybe this figure wasn't intended for fans like me to replace the Unleashed. The Unleashed was released back in 2012. It's a significant amount of time has passed. This could be for the next gen collectors of Hot Toys. So that's something to really consider about, because I know there's been a lot of debates. I read forums. I do go on Sideshow Freaks, and I do see the comments. And it's, you know, I do hear the accusations of Hot Toys as far as accusing them of cash grabbing. Again, this could be meant for the new collectors. A lot of folks who are now joining the world of Hot Toys did not have a chance at the Unleashed. And again, it's a beautiful figure. Other than that paint chipped on the Tony Stark head, it's impressive. It's impressive. Again, from top to bottom, this is the Mark II. I really wish they would have added the reflective coating. I probably would have paid a little bit more for it. Would have raised the price, but this is okay. It's good. I mean, again, but the Unleashed though. Look at the Unleashed all by itself in my Hall of Armor. Oh, poor fella. I'm gonna miss him. I really am gonna miss the Unleashed. I really am. The holographic Mark II that makes this the special edition. This is cool. I do enjoy these little holographic pieces that they used to include. They started back up again. I know I feel like they stopped, but now they started with the little holographic little characters there. I do like them. I really, really do. I think they're really neat. I do like the rocket guard, the little wrist rockets here, because in the original Unleashed, see, this is probably where I would defend this version. The wrist rockets on the Unleashed, the flaps were flimsy and loose in my figure, so at least in this one, you can swap them out and attach. This is I guess, the wrist shield when he's being attacked by Ironmonger, since this is a repainted Mark III. The animated flames. I know there's fans out there who love the animated flames. I don't like the animated flames. I feel it takes away from the illusion of realism. When it looks animated like that, it just does. They're cool, but I'll never pose my my actual suit with it. And the articulated hands, I always use the articulated hands. I love them. I really do. You get two pairs of hands, and it's always the articulated hands that I do enjoy. If it's in flight pose, I'll use those. But otherwise, it'll be the articulated fingers, and those are the flare hip pieces there. And other than that, I mean, it's just a lot of pieces that really were meant for the Mark III. Now, this I like. This I really do like. I've always enjoyed the illuminated circular bases that Hot Toys sometimes includes, and sometimes they do not include. I do like this. It feels sturdy. It doesn't look cheap like the regular stands that they include with the other suits. I like this with the pole. It's sturdy. It feels rugged. I've always liked that. Those I like. Even though this is going to go in the Hall of Armor, I'll never use it. I always tend to use that circular base for other figures. The flaps are sturdy. Again, the flaps on my Unleashed are flimsy. See, it's these little issues like this with the flaps where they feel rigid and sturdy. In my Unleashed, they do feel flimsy. And this is something that I could add a little bit of defense. The expanded waist. The Mark III does not expand on the waist, and by expanding on the waist, it does increase its height. So this does help sell the illusion of the height compared to the newer suits that we are getting as far as the height. You have the shoulder rockets there. I don't think the Unleashed, the Mark II ever used these. This is just a feature that the Mark III used, and it was just brought over for this suit. It's kind of neat, but I'll never pose my actual figure with the shoulder rockets. And let's get the batteries. Let's swap out the batteries. Let's get some shots on here. Make sure the arc reactor works. That does. It's perfect. And I'm gonna swap out the batteries on the helmet. It's all pretty standard. It's very similar to the Mark III. Again, this suit, this particular figure, should have been released 2 or 3 years ago. It really should have. For shame on Hot Toys for waiting this long. I think if they would have released it a year after the Mark III, I think people wouldn't have cared about the whole height issue. At least then they could have attributed it to, well, you know what, we've made significant advances in technology as far as the suits, versus releasing this particular model 3 going on 4 years for some, I guess, didn't this? So, but it works. It'll fit the bill, and this particular suit will join the family. You know, this is a love, this is a passion of mine, and it's gonna enter the Hall of Armor. To me, the original 7 suits are the ones that make it. And as a devoted Iron Man fan, I won't stop collecting this. From the Hulkbuster to the original 7 to the limited now House Party Protocol, but this is the love. This is what brought me to it. It's just the suits. Out of all the characters that Hot Toys makes, it's always going to be the Iron Man suits. That will always be my top priority. Always. The Hulkbuster was a phenomenal character in the film. The original 7. I mean, these to me are the legendary suits. These are the suits that make up Iron Man. These are the suits that deserve the respect, deserve the love. So it doesn't bother me that they're being replaced. It really doesn't. I don't mind replacing my Mark II. It doesn't bother me. I just wish it was done sooner with this existing mold that they presented to us. Overall, it's a gorgeous figure. Again, I have no ill will to it. I will miss my Unleash, but you know, it's time to put the past behind us and move forward. And this will join my original 7, and it will be a member. And I guess now we just need the Mark 1. I need the Mark 1, but overall, I mean, it's a beautiful figure. I don't want to keep spatting on it, even though that chipped helmet on it. But the original 7 will always be. And if you guys are wondering, the Mark 7 suit is, out of the original 7, is my favorite. That's the one that I think propelled me into this world of collecting, to this world of Hot Toys, to this world of the Iron Man suits. After seeing Avengers in 2012, that's when I got into Hot Toys, and that's when I bought my Mark II Unleashed, my very first Hot Toys. So, welcome to the family, Iron Man Mark II. And getting it ready. Welcome to the Hall of Armor. You're not going anywhere anytime soon. Hopefully, knock on wood. Welcome home. Like, subscribe, leave your comments below. The Iron Man Mark II has arrived. The Mark 7 will be about a year's time. That'll be diecast. That should be the next one. And then after that, hopefully, we'll get the Mark 1. Thanks for watching, folks.